Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Isa. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today we're gonna actually switch gears and we're gonna talk about more about fitness today, more specifically about getting lean and shredded, right? So right now we're living in an age where the whole term look maxing, everyone's trying to look max, everyone's trying to get to their highest potential, I would say, trying to get fit, trying to look good, trying to, get, their cheeks kind of hollow. I'm not really hollow. I got kind of thicker cheeks, but I don't know. I'm happy with the way I look. Um, anyway, now when it comes to getting lean or when it comes to getting shredded, there's a couple of basic rules that I think everyone needs to follow to stay lean or to get lean. And these are principles that I typically follow. And as someone that is actually currently an NCAA athlete, and I play soccer, which is a high intensity sport, I'm consistently lean basically year round. And I'm also 21 years old, so I have age on my time, or age on my side. But for the average person, I'm going to speak for the average person that is just going to be working out, because there's going to come a time where I'm not going to be playing sports anymore. So if I wasn't playing sports, how would I stay lean? How would I stay shredded, right? Because it's easy to stay lean and shredded when you're young, when you're active consistently and things of that nature. But what if you're someone that is not in sports or a little bit older and stuff like that? Well, I'm going to show you guys and give you guys 6 principles that I think we need to follow in order to stay lean. Now, the first and foremost thing you have to consider is, scratch that. The first rule about staying lean, the first thing that I wrote, or the first principle that I wrote, is you want to be in a calorie deficit. So what is a calorie deficit? Calorie deficit means that you're eating less than the amount of calories that you're burning. Meaning, if I want to lose weight, I want to be around anywhere from a 250 calorie to 500 calorie deficit. So if it takes, let's say, 3,000 calories for me to maintain my weight, I want to eat at least 500 calories under that. So 2,500 calories, and I'll end up losing weight. And you don't want to do an aggressive cut, because if you do, 1, it's not good for you. 2, it's really not sustainable. You're probably going to end up binging and getting all that weight back. So for a calorie deficit, again, I recommend anywhere from 250 to 500 calorie deficit. 500 calorie deficit obviously being a more aggressive approach. 250 calories being more of a conservative approach, more sustainable. Now, personally for me, I do not count my calories. And I don't count my calories for a couple of reasons. 1, the truth of the matter is I get kind of lazy. I don't have like the app where I track everything. I think if you keep tracking things and you make yourself like super strict, if you make it strict, you end up binging even more. Like, that's usually what happens to me. Like, I had an assignment one time for school where I had to track what I ate for one of my health classes, and I ended up actually eating more calories than I usually do, because I kept thinking about food. And I think when you keep thinking about it, you're gonna end up binging. So I don't track my calories. I just trust what I eat, because I look at the mirror, and if I look good, feel good, then I think I'm on the right path. So that's just my personal tip. If you want to track your calories, you can, but you want to make sure that you're eating in a calorie deficit. So the way I make sure that I eat in a calorie deficit without tracking my calories is I typically eat similar foods that I usually do every day. So like my breakfast, for an example, will be eggs. Typically it's eggs, toast with some fruit. It's like a good breakfast for me, right? And then for lunch, it's obviously going to be a protein and a salad. Sometimes I'll have pasta depending on my soccer schedule, but usually it's a protein and a salad. And then dinner is usually the same thing, protein and a salad with maybe pasta, or maybe like at the end I'll have a dessert like ice cream or a cookie or something. But the fact that I'm training hard every day, I'm running, I'm sprinting, I'm jogging, as well as going to the gym, really helps me. And it really helps you don't really need to track your calories if you're that active. You know what I'm saying? But again, calorie deficit for those of you that want to track your calories. So my second thing is you want to limit high calorie foods, and you want to stick to whole foods and limit carbs. So again, high calorie foods being a lot of processed junks like chips, fast food, high calorie drinks, especially high calorie drinks. I think that is such an easy way to eliminate calories. Like if you like soda, I'm not a big fan of soda personally, but if you want to eliminate soda, drink the 0 calorie ones. Like you'll get the same taste, but you'll just save the calories so you don't have to put that weight on, right? It's such an easy like 160 calorie like saved right there that you can use for, a food or something. And then this goes back to my same point of the calorie deficit, sticking to whole foods. So when you stick to whole foods, you technically don't really need to count calories, because if my diet is full of nice, good proteins, fruits, vegetables, good carbs, like I know I'm eating whole foods, and I know a lot of those whole foods are lower in calories, right? Like if you get a handful of blueberries compared to a handful of candy, like the candy is going to be a lot more calories. Like you're obviously going to gain weight. But if you have blueberries, you can eat a bunch of them, and I know like I'm not going to gain weight from it. I mean, you still will, but you're going to have to eat like a whole lot of blueberries, right? So I make sure that I stick to whole foods. That also helps me without counting my calories, because I know I'm eating good processed food. I'm eating good, healthy, whole foods. And then obviously limit carbs. So I'm one of those guys that doesn't think that you should cut out a specific food group entirely. I know people say go keto, go this and that. I think if you're someone like me that's an athlete, you need carbs, especially if you're running, if you're sprinting, jumping, jogging, doing all these sorts of movement. Carbs are going to be your number one things. And I eat carbs, right? But I don't eat it like all the time. So like in breakfast, I'll have toast, and then like either my dinner or my lunch, I'll have maybe rice or maybe some pasta. But that's pretty much it. I don't overdo it when it comes to carbs. But I think if you're someone that is the average gym goer, just trying to stay fit, or you don't play sports, you can do well without carbs. Again, I don't recommend cutting it completely, because the moment you have carbs after a long period of not eating any, you're going to bloat back up, and you're going to, your body's just going to gain all that weight. So for me, again, everything in moderation, everything in balance. So keto diets, extreme diets, don't do those extreme diets. Because again, anything that's very extreme leads to disaster from what I've seen and what I've experienced. Everything like yin and yang, balance, right? There needs to be a certain type of balance, and balance and moderation is key to long-term success. Maybe short-term, you might lose a lot of weight and stuff, but when you want to have long-term sustainability, don't cut out carbs completely. You can limit them and be very cautious with them, but don't cut them out completely. And then my third tip is to do at least 1 to 2 high-intensity cardio sessions in addition to weight training. So obviously you want to go to the gym, you want to lift weights, because that burns a lot of calories. Perfect. But also I recommend including at least 1 to 2 high-intensity cardio sessions. This could be HIIT training. This could be playing a sport. Anything to get your heart rate up for anywhere from 30 to an hour, right? 30 minutes to an hour. If you want to go more than an hour, by all means, please do. But for a realistic person that can squeeze in a 30-minute to an hour hard cardio session at least twice a week, I recommend twice, but if you can do it once, still, at least you're doing something. Cardio is king when it comes to burning a lot of calories. Burns more than lifting weights. Trust me, I've tracked it on my watch. Lifting weights does burn a lot of calories, but cardio is king if you want to cut weight. That's why bodybuilders, when they start to cut, they go on the treadmill for an hour, hour and a half, and they start losing the weight, because cardio burns more calories. And it does so because like when you're running and you're sprinting and you're changing directions, your body's like, okay, well, since I'm doing all this intense movement, I have to carry less weight. So sometimes it makes you less hungry. Your body just changes, right? So you want to do 1 to 2 sessions of, intense cardio along with your weight training and maybe some steady state cardio. This could be walking. This could be going for an easy jog. This could be going on a bike ride. Whatever you enjoy, you want to consistently keep moving, because movement is key when it comes to losing weight and staying lean and shredded. I'm telling you guys, movement is key. So make sure you get those high intensity cardio sessions in. That's going to be a real game changer, and it's going to make you more toned and shredded. Trust me. Number 4, obviously, a lot of people look better and look leaner when they're tan. Now, if you're like me and you're currently living in New Jersey / New York, getting a tan is practically almost impossible unless you go to a tan salon. It's because of the weather. You can't stay outside and tan, right? But I'm originally from California, so I'm used to being, tan year round, but I'm here for college. So, you have to deal with, pros and cons, right? But the thing is when you get a tan, you look substantially leaner and you look better. So if you guys are trying to fully max out how lean you want to look, get a tan. A tan will definitely change the way you look, make it look slimmer, make you look leaner, make your muscles pop. It's great. You look healthier. Usually when we see someone that's tan, it usually symbolizes that they're healthy, that they're outdoors, that they're taking care of themselves, and it just looks better. Everyone looks better with a tan. So that's just a pro tip. You don't have to get it, but it just creates the illusion that you're leaner than you actually are. So get a tan. And then 5, don't deprive yourself of sweets, but you want to be disciplined. Now, what I mean by that is don't cut out sweets completely. I know people say, oh, I want to go on a tan, so they go on this, or I want to go on a cut. So they go on this aggressive cut where they completely eliminate sweets, they don't eat it, and then eventually they get cravings, and then they go and they eat a whole box of Twinkies or a whole Haagen-Dazs ice cream, and they end up gaining the weight back. So you did all that cutting for what? For me personally, I eat some sweets. I like sweets. I have a big sweet tooth. So I typically eat sweets, obviously towards the end of the day. Not every day. Obviously, I don't eat them every day. But, 2-3 times a week, like I'll have ice cream, I'll have a cookie, I'll have a brownie, because guys, the stress that you have for looking at that cookie, looking at that brownie and avoiding it and saying, no, don't eat it, that stress is going to cause you more harm than actually eating the freaking brownie and cookie, right? Maybe you need those calories. Maybe your body is saying, hey, I need to eat that. And so you eat it. Because when you deprive yourself of something, you put it on kind of this pedestal. And when you put it on a pedestal, you want it even more. But if you eat it, just one cookie or just a brownie or just a cake or just an ice cream, just, in moderation, obviously you don't want to overdo it. You're going to be like, when you see that ice cream, you see that cookie, you'll be like, no, I'm good. You'll feel more, you have more restraint and discipline. So don't deprive yourself. I know people say, I'll cut it out completely. Don't do that. Don't follow that bullshit. It's stupid. Like, honestly, guys, if you want the cookie, eat the cookie. If you're training hard, you're working out, you're eating healthy majority of the day, trust me, eating that cookie, eating that brownie, eating that ice cream is not going to harm you at all. If anything, it's going to give you more fuel, more calories to just go out and train harder. So that's how I view it. Don't deprive yourself, but also don't overdo it. Don't eat ice cream and cookies every single day, every single night, for every single meal. Don't do that. Moderation. Moderation is key. That's how you stay the course, right? We want long-term. We don't want short-term. We want long-term consistency and discipline, because that's how you get results. And then 6, simple, stay active and try and have fun with this. Guys, when it comes to getting lean, when it comes to getting shredded, I feel like we put it at such a high pedestal and we make it seem like it's impossible. It's not, guys. It's very simple. Eat good food. Try to eat as clean as possible. Go work out. Stay active. Stay moving, whether that's walking, whether that's even cleaning the house, for example. Just moving your body, doing laundry, doing stuff that just causes activity. That's how we're going to stay lean. That's how we're going to stay moving. And I know it's hard for some people, but when you're active, the more you move, the more that you're constantly burning calories. That is how you stay lean. That is how you get lean. And that is how you stay shredded. It's constant movement, constant activity. Again, you don't want to overdo it. You want to have your rest days. But guys, staying active is key. So again, don't stress about this too much, guys. Simple. I'll break it down simple for you. Eat whole foods as much as possible. Stay active. Do high intensity cardio along with your weight training. Don't deprive yourself of sweets. And have fun. Just those 4 points. Have fun. Stay healthy. Go out. Socialize. Don't stress about it too much, because I know you're going to get your fitness goals and I know you're going to achieve everything. So guys, I hope this video helped you. Please like, subscribe, and share. Stay tuned for more content. Peace.